All right, let's put together the plan and profile concept, get the understanding of that. I'm going to hold off on the corridor for a second. So we have a plan view here. We have the overlook view here, and we have a profile view here. Now, when we do a submittal for construction, when we go to create the construction plans, we have to have the plan and profile on the same sheet typically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to a new layout. I'm going to go to the layout tab 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and right click on the layout tab 2 and go to the page setup manager. Before I do that, I take that back. Let me go to layout 1. Since it's already set up for the size I need. I'm going to click on the viewport, go Control C on my keyboard, which is a copy clip. And then I'm going to go to the layout here. And the Home tab up here, you can see the paste here, paste the original coordinate. I'm going to paste. And then I'm going to type in 0, 0. Now I'm going to get rid of this. Just deleted it. I'm going to right click on the layout and go to Page Setup Manager, and I'm going to modify that. I'm going to put it as monochrome for right now. I'm going to change it to General Documentation. I'm going to change this, scroll up to where it says Full Bleed. I'm looking for a 24 by 36. So Arch D 24 by 36. Sorry, I always pick that wrong. 36 by 24. And I'm going to go plot area, a window. I'm going to turn my snaps on, endpoint to endpoint. And center it. I like to leave plot transparency because I do some things in transparency, and then go OK. Now, we have our view here. Let me close. So I am going to, right now it's 1 to 40, and that's fine. I am going to scale this up because when you're looking at profiles, you only really care about the roadway itself, not the streets and all that, or not the lots. Okay, so I'm adjusting this. We'll get to our title block in a minute. Well, now, we can see that it's 0, 10 here. So let me push this direction, and I'm actually going to move this to over here. Now I'm going to copy this. So, and turn on F8 for my ortho. Bring it straight down. All right. Now, I'm going to unlock this, unlock the viewport by the little lock button. I'm going to double click on the inside and zoom out, and then zoom back in over here. Now, I'm going to change that scale to 1 to 40. Double click. I'm going to adjust this. Typically, you have profiles that read left to right. My snaps are causing me some issues. Okay, so I'm going to move this down and get this over here in the center. Now, this is going the wrong direction. Okay, so what I want to do, unfortunately, this is a little more complicated command than normal, but I want to go ahead and show it to you. So I'm going to unlock the viewport. Double click on the inside and go D-View. So I'm twisting the view on this. And I hit Enter, TW for twist. And I'm going to twist 180 degrees and hit Enter. Now, my 10 is over here, and my alignment is reading from left to right, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can split this into 2. So I have, and you typically align these. I'm going to create a polyline. I'm going to snap it to here. I'm actually on the outside and drag it up. And then I'm going to move this, M for move. I'm going to snap it, and I'm actually in paper space. But the nice thing about this is it's allowing me to snap to stuff that's in model space. So now these are aligned. 10 plus 0, 0, 13 plus 0. So you're looking straight down and you can see it. So what you see up here is the plan view, and here's the profile. So now I'm going to move this over like that. I am going to create a second viewport because I don't like, I've done it before, but I'm not a big fan of going ahead and having this. I like to have the alignment and the profile above each other. If I did this, I'd have to read it and tilt my head sideways. So I'm going to try to, at station, let's say 13 plus 25. There's going to be some overlap. So I am going to copy this, CO for copy, and I'm going to drag it over here. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and lock all my viewports. All I did was highlight them. I clicked and gripped them. I'm going to come over here, and I am going to make this bigger. It's not locked right now, so I'm going to do D-view again. So if I double click on the inside, type in D-view, hit enter, TW for twist, I'm typing, enter. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees, okay? Double click on the outside, and I'm going to go ahead and, it's already at 40 scale, so I'm going to go ahead and lock it back, okay? So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to squish it down. Okay, I'm going to take the 14. It's not going to be perfect. When you have something on a curve, it's not perfect. There's other options, but I'm not trying to make you all into perfect CAD people, but there are other options. So if you're a CAD drafter, when you get into the industry, is sick that day, then you know how to fix it. I use the midpoint on that, and I'm going to go perpendicular. Okay, see how it overlaps? Not a big fan of that. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this to here. As such. And then I'm going to grip this one, and I'm going to pull it up. So since the 14 is on there, this isn't perfect. And there we go. So you can at least see the roadway in each of the views, okay? And then I'm going to shorten this one. Down to here. And I'm going to shorten, nope, I'm going to make these perpendicular. So I'm going to grip that one, right click, and go perpendicular. All right. So now we have our plan and profile. You would actually have to come out here and spot grade this cul-de-sac because we don't have it set. All right. I am going to pause here and get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that line. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and this is what I want you to print for me, okay? So now you've had some practice to see what a plan and profile look like, okay? Typically you would put a match line, so you create a polyline, and let's say you do at the 14. So the construction plans you can see, and I'm putting this on an arbitrary layer. I'm not making this really specific. I'm going to change the style. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to create a layer called 0-FAU match line. I am going to change it to red for right now so you can see it, and it is going to be a phantom line. We'll do phantom 2. All right. So this is on FAU match line. Okay, so there would be my match line. And then I would have another one. I'm going to copy this. CO for copy. Midpoint to midpoint. Shift right click. Now I'm going to rotate this. RO about the midpoint. And I'm going to do 90 degrees. Okay, so there's where our match lines would be, and we would call out match line in text. All right, so I'm going to take, here's another cool thing. I'm going to double click on here, and I'm going to go Control Copy. Now watch what happens when I bring it out here, and I go Control Paste. Okay, maybe it didn't happen. Whoops, nope, it didn't happen like I thought. Double click in here. Control Copy. Should pop up and say I have a copy here. And Control Paste. Now Z, enter, E, enter. Apparently I'm not copying it. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? I'm going to do it this way. Copy. I'm going to sync this. For whatever reason, mine's not doing, there's copy clip out here. And I'm going to Control Paste. Watch me have a boatload of them. Where is that? But I'm going to stop for the day. I don't know where I lost my text. It either is too small. I wonder if it's at 0, 0. Well, 0, 0 is here. Let me turn this on because it might be an annotative issue. Enter, E, enter. Nope. I have no clue. So I'm just going to create text. Match line. And you can also do background. This is why I keep my property palettes open. You can also do background and mask that. Okay. It's a bit big. I've changed my mind. I think it might look better if I brought this down. As such. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and print this and see how it looks. So I'm going to print and then preview. Not too bad. Okay. Now, there's stuff that you would want to turn off, but this is the general idea of a plan and profile. All right, I'm going to pause here. We'll start working toward laying out and grading the site next time. So once you get that done, go ahead and go OK. And I'm going to call it example part 2. Profile. Okay. And this is what I want you to upload for me. Not that, that. All right. Uh-ohs. My viewport's not big enough. Find an error, fix it before you go. So let's look at that again. Why did that not print? because that's why it didn't print. It's over there. Endpoint to endpoint. Preview. Always check your prints before you send them to me to make sure they look good and you're happy with them. Escape. And then OK. Now, sorry, that didn't save because I wasn't closed out of it. I do notice miscellaneous lines. Go ahead and try to keep things, oh, they're not there, but it's in the, it's not in this view, but for whatever reason, there's 2 lines there when I did the preview. Not sure why they're showing up here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop there though, and we will go over more. Also, this needs to be pulled up a little. It shouldn't look like that. So go ahead and pull that up and keep it clean. We'll talk about, as we move through the semester, how to create the plans to make them look proper. But for right now, this is our first go around with using plan and profiles. I don't want to get too in the weeds with making it pretty, but get the concept of what a plan and a profile does. All right, so we can see this is existing grade and this is proposed grade. So we're cutting here. We're cutting through the whole site. If this line was higher, let's say, this is the other nice thing about Civil 3D, you change your mind. Let's say we changed our mind and said, I'm just going to grip this, I'm going to grab here, and I'm going to drag it up. Now what we have is we've got an area that is cut, but we've also got an area that's filled. So let me go back to that layout so you can see it. Oh, there's that text. Ha, multiple times. Sweet. All right. So if I go print preview, you can see now that this area here would be, we're cutting into the ground and then we have to fill it over here. Okay, now just remember also, drag this down. This is a vertical curve that's a crest. The other one that we had was a vertical curve that was in a sag. So just FYI. The other thing that you can do on here if you change your mind is, let's say I wanted to make that a low point somewhere in here. So I right click, profile properties, profile geometry, edit profile geometry. And now I can actually add a PVI, point of vertical intersection, and let's say I add it here and then hit enter. Now I could drag this one down and make that a low point. So now I've got cut and I've got fill. But the other thing that you have to be aware of is you can't have an incoming grade, an outgoing grade greater than the algebraic difference of, let's say, 1 if you're 30 miles per hour. That's another green book. So I would have to put a vertical curve in here. Well, right click on it, edit profile geometry. Vertical curves are typically parabolic curves. So I'm going to create a free vertical curve. I'm going to select this line, this tangent, and this tangent, and then I'm going to put 150 in and then hit enter again. So now I've got a vertical curve here, and the absolute low point is going to be right there at station 1275.05. All right. Now, if you've worked with me so far along this, go ahead and print out the second one. So I want 2 of them. Since you've watched the video so far, go ahead and go print and go preview. I gotta change my window. I'm gonna snap to the endpoint, F3, out here. Endpoint. let's not snap into that endpoint. I'm going to snap it to here, and I'm going to snap it to over here. I'm going to apply to the layout and then go OK, and then example 2. So I want both of these layouts, and yes. All right. Again, still needs to be cleaned up, but now you can see that you've got tangent, curve, tangent, cut this area, fill this area. So that's what we were talking about, balancing a site. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop. If y'all have got questions, just let me know. If you get stuck in the video, just let me know also.